Hey everyone, welcome. So glad to be here and see you all here. My name is Jeff Hinojosa. I'm a product manager on Coinbase Wallet and the product lead on the Smart Wallet. I'll be your co-host today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to take a minute to introduce today's speakers and topics. I have with me today Jesse Pollak, founder of Base and our co-host. Hey Jesse.
Hey everybody, super happy to be here. This is one of the ones where I get to show up and be a guest, although I guess I'm co-hosting this one. Super excited to be here.
I also have with me Wilson Cusack. He's one of our staff software engineers on Base and the smart contract engineering lead for the Smart Wallet. What's up, Wilson?
Hi, everyone.
And finally, I have with me Harry Noble, one of our senior engineering managers on Coinbase Wallet and our engineering management lead for the Smart Wallet. What's up, Harry?
Hey, folks.
All right, super excited to be here today. This is my personal favorite topic to talk about, the awesome Smart Wallet. But first, we have Jesse, so I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about Onchain Summer, which I think we're all very much anticipating, given the weather's starting to warm up, at least in LA. We'll go deep into Smart Wallet. We got some demos, and we'll talk about how it all ties in with the Base ecosystem and how we bring everybody on chain. So Jesse, let's start out a couple questions for you. So could you just give us a rundown of what Onchain Summer is for anyone who's not familiar with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Onchain Summer is a movement that we are a part of, which is really about saying every summer, summertime is a time when people want to try new things, they want to get outside, and we think they want to get on chain. And so last summer with the launch of Base, we ran the first Onchain Summer. It was, the month of August, because we launched Base at the beginning of August. And really the goal of that was to get as many people on chain as possible. We did pretty good, but this summer we're running it back. We're going to make it 10 times bigger, maybe 100 times bigger, and we're going to be doing it in collaboration with all of you. And so there's a few big parts of Onchain Summer. It's going to first go the whole summer. From June through August, it'll be 3 months long. We're going to kick it off with a buildathon. That'll be the whole month of June with more than 200 ETH of prizes. It's more than $600,000 worth of prizes, office hours, support from builders. We're going to have events all around the world. And then every day for the entire summer, we're going to be helping folks find cool things to do on chain. And the way we really think about this is that the community is going to create a ton of really cool apps and activations and creativity. Coinbase and Base are going to help get all of those activations in front of more consumers. And together, we're going to collectively take something like 70 or 100 or 1,000 shots on goal, where we think each one of those shots really has the potential to bring hundreds or thousands or millions of people on chain. And I think our thesis is that if all of us work together, if we take a bunch of shots on goal, some of them are going to go in. And for the first time, it feels like we finally have the technology, we have the products, we have the moment where we can actually bring the world on chain. And it's going to start in a big way this summer.
Awesome. And I hear there's also going to be some bonus rewards for integrating Smart Wallet during the buildathon. So projects have some extra opportunities to be featured, maybe even some extra ETH to give out.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can people get involved with the buildathon, Jesse?
Yeah, so the buildathon is, again, running all June. There's 8 tracks of the buildathon with incredible sponsors like Stripe and Shopify and Zora and Farcaster and a ton of other, really top tier organizations that are contributing prize money as well as resources to help builders get started building on chain. If you want to get involved in the buildathon, you can go to base.org. You'll find a banner at the top that'll link you out to the buildathon. Just click right there. You can sign up. You'll stake a little bit of ETH to show that you're going to kind of show up, and then you can hack for the whole month of June. And one thing to know about the buildathon and really about all of Onchain Summer is that when we say builder and when we ask people to build, we're not just talking about developers. People can build their creativity, they can build communities, they can build their brand, they can build their small businesses, and all of that can happen on chain. And so no matter who you are, no matter what your skill set is, we want you to build this summer. We want you to participate in the buildathon, and we want you to help us bring the world on chain.
Awesome. So hype. Yeah, last Onchain Summer was pretty sweet. So I'm looking forward to this one and seeing what kind of awesome new drops and all the stuff that people build. Let's talk a little bit about Smart Wallet. So Jesse, can you tell us a little bit about why Base cares about Smart Wallet? I know you've been one of the main drivers, one of the visionaries kind of help pushing it. Why should people care who want to come on chain about the Smart Wallet, and why are you excited about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been saying for the last year or two that there's really 3 big infrastructure upgrades that we need in order to make consumer apps possible. And the first was low-cost chains. We now have that with Base. It's way faster and cheaper to do anything on chain, to build any app on chain. The second was identity, and we're starting to see that really emerge with things like Coinbase verifications on chain, where you can understand who users are, and also full social graphs on chain with things like Farcaster and Friendtech, where people are actually building their networks on chain that are reusable. And the third piece that we think has really been missing, but is starting to be solved with the smart wallet, is wallets. And that's really getting at the fact that it's way too hard to use on-chain products. And I think a lot of us have probably gone through this experience of trying to onboard a friend and them having to take 5 or 10 minutes to go set up a separate app or get comfortable with the security. That's just not good enough. And so after last Onchain Summer, when we actually tried a lot of this with real everyday people, we took a step back and we said, hey, what would it look like if we solved onboarding, if we solved security, if we solved usability? How could we make this experience 100 times better? And that's really what the smart wallet is. It is a new wallet from Coinbase Wallet that's going to make it so any user anywhere in the world can onboard in less than 10 seconds without setting up a separate app or extension, so that those users have incredible security to make sure that their assets are safe and they have a trustworthy on-chain account. And then to make sure that developers and users have the tools to make it so user experiences are incredibly seamless with things like gasless transactions and batch transactions. And so all of that is going to come together. And we think combined with those on-chain identity pieces that have started to emerge and those really low-cost fees to make it so for the first time this summer, it's finally possible to build viral consumer products. We think those products are going to be apps that people build. We think they're going to be content that people publish. We think they're going to be memes that people invent. And all of it's going to come together to bring millions of people on chain. And it's all going to happen as a result of y'all's creativity. And so the easiest way to think about the smart wallet is a massive unlock that's going to unlock the creativity that's been bubbling in the entire ecosystem.
100%. So let's talk a little bit about the smart wallet. I know seeing is believing, so we'll get straight into some demos quickly. But just to recap, what is the smart wallet for those not familiar? So basically, as Jesse mentioned, it enables instant wallet creation within seconds, straight from a dApp, and it's using passkeys based, so you won't have to manage your own recovery phrases, 12 words, worry about backups, fully encrypted, fully secure, no app downloads, extensions, or seed phrases. And you'll have one wallet that works across all major L2 networks and on-chain apps. So it's fully portable as a unified wallet where you can take your assets across the ecosystem, making it one of the easiest and fastest ways to get on chain without actually sacrificing anything in terms of your security posture. So we're on live on testnets right now. We'll be on mainnet in early June. SDK is already live. You can go to smartwallet.dev for all the docs and start integrating. But let's be clear, we're not just excited for our smart wallet. We're excited for account abstraction, smart wallets in general, to bring us to the future of the industry together. As Jesse mentioned, the easier it is for everyone to get on chain, the better the ecosystem is going to be. This is going to be not just some kind of niche thing where people who are into crypto are on chain. Everyone's going to be on chain. Some of them might not even realize it. But that's where we're going to get, hopefully coming out of this summer. So it's been difficult in the past, but we see a really bright future where it's super easy for everyone. And to demonstrate that, why don't I call up Wilson to the stage? Wilson, I think you got some demos for us to show up some of the sweet features on the smart wallet.
Yeah. So let's put some visual to what you guys are talking about. Let's say you're a totally new user. You land on this amazing NFT Summer Mint. You click connect to Mint and you see this wallet and you're like, oh no, am I going to have to download an app or an extension? Nope. You just click create wallet. In this case, I'm using Brave. I'm going to save to my Brave profile. I'm going to touch my finger. Boom, I have an address. You'll notice here there's a funding upsell. So we think this is going to be really huge for apps. We sort of have built a funding flow that can happen right at the end of onboarding. So you don't have to worry about that in your app. But I'm not going to use that right now. So actually, I haven't funded my wallet yet, but I want to mint. All good. Smart Wallet supports paymasters, app-based paymasters, sponsored transactions. So the app is sponsoring this transaction for me, or in this case, Base is actually sponsoring this transaction for me. I'm going to click confirm, touch my finger, and we should be good to go. The transaction is going to confirm on chain. So I want to be clear that what just happened there was not like passkey auth to some server where we hold your key. Your secure enclave, the passkey in your secure enclave was actually signing something that's going to get verified on chain. So that's pretty cool, but that's not all. So now let's hop over here and let's say I already have a smart wallet and I want to mint this NFT, but my wallet is out of ETH. We've all had this moment. Oh no, I'm low on ETH. what do? You scramble to your Coinbase account, you're texting your address back and forth, you're copy and pasting. That's over. So here I have already OAuth this keys.coinbase, my wallet here, into coinbase.com. So I've connected these two and I get this very magic button, Coinbase. So I can decide to use my ETH in coinbase.com to pay the gas for this transaction and to pay the ETH needed for this mint. So it's not just a Paymaster, it's a Paymaster paying for gas, but it's more than that as well. I click confirm. And I just want to flag that if you do have like two-factor auth or whatever set up with coinbase.com, you would be prompted for that here. And I'll touch my finger. And again, we'll see this mint complete. But that is still not all. I want to show off this website. So this is really, Smart Wallet is really a modern wallet. It complies to this EIP 5792, this new EIP for new wallet APIs to take advantage of things like paymasters and batch transactions, etc. And so you have a wallet get capabilities RPC to detect the capabilities of the wallet. And now I can do things like transact. And in this case, this is actually a batch transaction. So here I'm going to mint 2 NFTs. I'm just making 2 calls, but this could be an approve and swap. We should never see an approve button on its own anymore. Approve and then swap. Those days are over. Approve and swap can happen in one transaction. You can mint NFTs, you can send ETH, you can do all kinds of things all in one transaction. And last, I'll just click over to this doc site, smartwallet.dev. All this is documented in a lot more detail there. And I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitter. We're going to get more into the details here, but feel free to reach out to me. Would love to talk to you.
Awesome, Wilson. Those are great demos. Magic Spend is super exciting because I think everyone's had those moments, maybe early on, maybe they still have them, of that moment of dread when you're trying to check, did I get the right address? Did I copy and paste wrong? Is it going to get there? When's it going to get there? I think letting people just leave their funds in their Coinbase account if they want, not worrying about top-ups, and just do what you're trying to do on chain. Why worry about all the intermediate steps along the way? Just get out there and start moving and grooving.
Yeah, we should get Jesse back up here. I think Jesse tweeted, the best on-ramp is no on-ramp, and that's what we've got here. So I think we're all pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. And disclosure, I'm actually using the Smart Wallet every day right now on mainnet. We have internal dog food for kind of employees on the base team and the Coinbase team, and it's a really magical experience. It just works, and it handles a lot of the complexity I think all of us have been kind of frustrated about for maybe the last decade of crypto. And I think the thing that is even more exciting to me about it than kind of that step function step that we're doing here is it's just the beginning. Right, the first version of the Smart Wallet that we are launching, it's still the MVP. Surely there's going to be rough edges, but the way we've built it is really as a platform, so that over time we're going to be able to let users upgrade it. They're going to be able to get more features, more security, more ease of use, more integrations to really incredible developer experiences, and all of that is going to be handled behind the scenes, so developers don't have to worry about it. No longer are developers going to have to worry about, oh, I'm building my crypto app, so let me integrate a wallet. And then let me also integrate on-ramp. And then let me also integrate multi-chain support. Instead, all of that complexity, the complexity that you all have probably spent countless hours or months or years managing, is going to get pulled behind the facade of the Smart Wallet. And it's just going to handle it. And it's going to be handled by open source code that you can read, that you can verify, that you can contribute to. And it's going to make your life easier. And it's going to make it easier for you to build incredible experiences that bring people on chain.
Indeed, and without any lengthy, difficult API integrations either. It's just, hook up to the SDK and you're good to go.
One line of code, no back-end stuff, one line of code. One line of code and you get everything that you need to build an incredible experience for your customers on chain.
That's the dream. I want to welcome Harry back up to the stage too. Harry, let's get into some of the Q&A. I want to spend some time, we get a lot of questions from folks. We have our Discord, which we'll share in the Twitter post, in the Twitter chat rather, so you can get in there and ask our dev team any questions. But we're going to run through some of the most common questions we get that are top of mind, but highly encourage you, drop your questions in the chat. We're going to be looking out for it, and we're going to take some of the questions live from you all too. But Harry, how can apps be ready to offer Smart Wallet on day one? We're going live early June. It's right around the corner. What do people need to get ready?
Yeah, our goal here is to make this as stupid easy for developers to jump on board with as possible. In most cases, we're talking about a version bump on a library you are already using. If you're using the Coinbase SDK directly, you just got to bump your version to something 4.0 or higher. If you're using an aggregator or some sort of other toolkit for your wallet interactions, we're going to handle making sure those are all up to date for day one. So all you got to do is make sure you're on the most recent version of whatever provider you're using by the end of this month, and you'll be set for day one. The one other thing you will want to double check on is making sure that your app is EIP 6492 compliant. 6492 handles verifying signatures for smart contract wallets. That'll be important for any smart contract wallet, not just ours. If you're not sure if you're compliant there or want to double check, you can go to smartwallet.dev/checklist. We've got a nice walkthrough so you can validate that.
Yeah, and if you're not EIP 6492 compliant, what will happen, you'll go to try to sign the transaction and nothing, it will just fail. So super important there. You can have everything else in place, but you need to have that one. Luckily, we have some super awesome, easy to follow checklists on smartwallet.dev. You don't have to remember all this. Just go to the site afterwards and you can walk through super easily.
And the only thing I'll add there is making that upgrade happen to support EIP 6492 is a community effort that's critical to the next phase of on-chain adoption. It's not just for Coinbase Smart Wallet. This is for all smart wallets. This is for all account abstraction experiences. And so if you're a developer, whether you're building apps or you're building infrastructure, if you can help us bring the community forward, you're going to be making such a huge contribution to enabling easy, secure, trustworthy on-chain experiences with smart wallets and account abstraction. So please, please lean in there.
Yeah. I'd like to think that Coinbase is using its sort of size in the space to do a public good here. You know, we're talking to Uniswap, we're talking to OpenSea, we're trying to get everybody to make these changes that will be needed for to benefit all smart accounts. I did just want to call out one other thing, just in terms of readiness. We saw the Magic Spend experience. It would be a bummer if you were able to spend your Coinbase.com ETH, but the app was sort of blocking you on an insufficient balance message. And so we have also thought about that as well. That's part of these public EIPs that we've been working on. And so there's a capability called auxiliary funds that apps can detect. These are in WAGMI, so they're super easy, like React hooks for this. Just get capabilities, and you can check based on the chain what capabilities this wallet has. And so you can see that this wallet has some auxiliary funds that are out of view of this specific chain's balance. And maybe you shouldn't, as the app, block that transaction. And again, this is not sort of a one-off for Coinbase. This is needed for all kinds of multi-chain transactions, right? Like, we're headed to a world where I think apps are going to be sort of dumber and wallets are smarter. Apps are going to think in much simpler terms, like just execute this, and wallets are going to be doing all kinds of crazy multi-chain fulfillment and stuff. And so we think this is something that's going to benefit everybody. We've seen a lot of interest from the whole community in this auxiliary funds capability in that paradigm as well.
Yeah, and can you talk a little bit about that method, RPC method, and the batch transactions as well, Wilson? I think that's kind of a key point, that this is not just unique to the smart wallet. This is something that other wallets and other, anyone can adopt. So can you just kind of give us a little bit of what was the world we lived in prior, and what's the world we live in tomorrow look like?
Yeah, so historically, apps and wallets have talked through an RPC called ETH send transaction. When I started working on this last fall, I was like, wait, we have these paymasters, and how is an app going to tell the wallet about the paymaster it wants to use? And prior till this EIP that we had in EIP 5792, you could really only use paymasters with embedded wallets, where the app and the wallet were sort of one and the same. So we picked up EIP 5792, which was an existing EIP around batch transactions, and we thought Moody had done a great job with the spec there. And we basically just extended it a little bit to add, in addition to passing an array of calls, you could sort of pass in this capabilities dictionary. And that's fairly open-ended. Those are actually defined in separate ERCs. And so we have an ERC specifically around the paymaster service. That's ERC 7677. Auxiliary funds, I can't even remember that one. We've got too many ERC numbers flying around here. But yeah, basically you can use upfront wallet capabilities to detect the capabilities that the wallet has. And then later you can use those capabilities when you're making a wallet send calls. So it's been really fun working with like the whole community on this. I think, on the Paymaster service, for example, I think Third Web is already supporting this. I think Pimlico is supporting this. Zero Dev, we've been talking to them. And so it's been really fun to be able to work with the community. There's so many really smart people in the account abstraction space, and it's been great to sort of be able to play a unique role in helping push some of these things forward as we sort of sit, we're the app layer, we're the wallet layer, we're the network layer. And so we have a unique perspective, and proud of the work we've been able to do here.
Yeah, and Wilson's out there every day, Twitter, Farcaster, Discord, you name it, kind of talking to everyone and aligning the whole community behind this. So shout out to you, Wilson. You're doing the right work.
Jeff, can I put a question to you from the chat, which is, I think, probably top of mind. How does this work with existing Coinbase Wallet products? There's a question here about an EOA, and if I have that.
Yeah, great question. So this is a Coinbase Wallet product. From day one, though, this is going to be our MVP, where it is something that is net new. It's an account abstracted wallet. It doesn't necessarily work seamlessly with your EOA wallet from day one. So this will be a new wallet that you'll be able to create. If you already have the extension installed in your browser, we're going to default to the extension, expecting that most folks that already have a funded wallet are going to want to use that. In order to use a smart wallet, you can just disable it, or we'll introduce some methods into the extension so you can use both side by side. But this is a net new wallet that you'll create in context of a dApp or in context of any of our Coinbase first-party dApps. Over time, we're going to be giving you options to import the smart wallet into our existing EOA wallets, so they'll live side by side each other, just like another address. There's also some really exciting work with 3074, which is going to allow EOA wallets to act more like a smart contract wallet and kind of be controlled by the underlying smart contracts that we built for this product. So you're going to see these two come together a lot closer over the next couple quarters, the rest of the year. But to start, this will be its own kind of net new experience. We'll take a few more questions from the chat, but one thing I know that is top of everybody's mind and always comes up, especially in relation to account abstraction, is this one chain only? Is it base only? Is it one address per chain? Harry, could you run us through some of the network support and how all this works?
Yeah. Again, our goal here is to have fewer things that the end user has to think about. So we're trying to abstract away chain support as much as we can here. Day one, we're going to launch on a bunch of major L2s. That's going to be Base, Optimism, Polygon, Arbitrum, BNB, Zora, and Avalanche, as well as Ethereum mainnet. But we're trying to expand this as quickly as possible. There's a little bit of infrastructure we need for each new chain. Be loud with us. Come tell us if there's a chain you want to see supported that's not on this list yet. That helps us prioritize what's next.
Awesome. Well, we've got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and take some of the questions from the chat, and encourage everyone, drop your questions into the chat. We'll take the ones that we see coming up the most from folks. There's a question here about how brick and mortar businesses can leverage smart wallets. So Base God Communities bringing barbers on chain and wants to make the process even easier. Well, luckily, as Jesse mentioned earlier, this is one line of code. So basically, if they have any wallet aggregator or Coinbase Wallet SDK, they just have to bump up their version, and they can offer smart wallets directly. People can create passkeys on the fly on their phone using their biometrics. They have a Coinbase account already. They can spend ETH from that. If not, we'll walk them through the on-ramp. So I'd say brick and mortar businesses, no different than any business, really. We're trying to make this easier for everybody. So all they need to do is, drop in a line of code, bump up their SDK, make sure, all the pieces are in place in that guide, and they're off to the races.
And if you're a brick and mortar business and you're watching this, we're actually in the next couple of weeks going to be releasing kind of a DIY kit where you can start to accept on-chain payments that's powered by Coinbase Wallet that will over time integrate more of the power of the smart wallet. And so I've actually been kind of blown away in the last month or so, the velocity of brick and mortar businesses, barbershops, coffee shops reaching out to me and saying, hey, we want to accept on-chain payments because we're sick of giving half of our margin in fees to banks and credit card processors. And instead, we want to live in the future, the on-chain future, where we keep all of our revenue. Has increased dramatically. I'm now getting multiple outreaches a week. And so we've seen this. We're building a kit that will let you be able to do that out of the box. And stay tuned next week for a little bit more information on that.
Awesome. Let's take some more questions from the chat. Will slippage be automatic? You want to take this one, Wilson?
I think that's probably just a question about using Magic Spend and possibly using it with a swap. There was some confusion around like, is Magic Spend actually, just like talking to Uniswap directly? If you're doing a trade, maybe you saw me do that demo. Apologies if I'm totally off base here, but this is a helpful clarification anyway. Magic Spend is basically just taking a normal Coinbase withdraw where you send your self-custody address and appending it to the next action that you would take after you, get it on your self-custody address. We can do this because of batch transactions, because smart contract wallets can do multiple operations at once. And so the Magic Spend ability is on Base right now, and it's ETH only. But other than that, there are no restrictions. Basically, we see in this transaction that you need ETH for gas, and you possibly need to spend some ETH. And whatever other action you're trying to take on chain, we just prepend this Coinbase withdraw, and then it can go into that. So we're sort of agnostic to what comes after the Magic Spend.
We got another question. When does the smart wallet go live? Give us a couple weeks. Team is grinding hard, heads down, making sure the experience is as awesome as it can be. We've been saying early June, so look out in June. It's coming soon to adapt near you. You'll be able to create it, right from all your favorite spots.
And do know that there are ways to try it today. So you can try it on Base Sepolia today. And actually, if you are like trying to test a Paymaster on mainnet or something, you can reach out to me directly, and we can figure out a way for you to be able to see if things are working on mainnet correctly. So check out our docs and guides. There's tons of ways to try it today to make sure you're ready for day one when it's public facing for everyone.
Yeah, and super important point there. You don't need to wait until we're live for consumers to get your SDK ready. That is ready today. So smartwallet.dev will walk you through everything. We got the team ready to help you out. Don't wait. You don't want to be the last one to this party. Another question. Let's give this one to you, Harry. What are the criteria for tokens to show up in the smart wallet?
Yeah, so high level, the smart wallet will be able to work with any token. So if your token is on one of these chains we mentioned, you can use it in the smart wallet. As far as these tokens actually showing up in our user interface in the portfolio, we pull every token as soon as it's launched on chain. The only places where you wouldn't see your token pop up is if it's landing on one of our spam lists. We have a few heuristics, a little bit of machine learning that we do there to keep things from getting too clogged up. If you're seeing something that isn't showing up that you'd like to have show up, again, just reach out. We're happy to sort through it.
Awesome. Here's another one. Does Smart Wallet eliminate the need to bridge? Another question. Will you be able to use your CB balance on the initial release? Wilson, this has your name written all over it.
Yeah, this is like it's a great question. And it's sort of interesting if you start to think about your Coinbase ETH with Magic Spend kind of becomes this like quantum ETH, where ideally it can sort of manifest on any chain right when you want it. To begin, we're starting with Base only, but we want to expand this to more assets and to more chains, etc. So ideally, fewer and fewer people ever see or think about a bridge screen. And I just want to sell as well there that we're working on expanding Magic Spend capabilities. We know, okay, this is great for Coinbase users, but what about non-Coinbase users? There should be a debit card or a credit card option right there. You should be able to use your BTC. You should be able to use your Solana. Like, we're thinking about all of this, and we really want to hear from you. We're super proud of where we're at, but we're also super excited for where we're going. So if you try it and you're like, hey, this is great, but it's missing X, Y, we want to hear that. Don't try it and leave. And, please give us that feedback. And tell us, how it can be even better, because we see all these opportunities. I think other people see these opportunities, and we want to know what's the most important one to take on next.
Yeah, let's take one more question, and then we're at time, so we can go ahead and start wrapping up. Will every CB user, CB meaning Coinbase, have access to the smart wallet and any steps they need to do? Everyone will have access to the smart wallet. It's as easy as creating it. We'll give you your balance management portal for the smart wallet, where you can create it directly from there, or you can go to create it at any app that's, supporting the smart wallet on day one. You can hook it up to your Coinbase account and use Magic Spend. Over time, we'll also start integrating a lot deeper in both the Coinbase wallet and the Coinbase products. So look out for that. But yeah, there's no restrictions here. This is global. This is self-custody. Everyone has access to it. As simple as just kind of signing up and setting up a passkey. So no worries there.
the other thing that gets glossed over that I want to make sure we're clear about, these are free. They're free for the end user. They're free for the developer. You can go make 1,000 of them if you want.
And they're global and they're accessible to anyone. And so no matter where you are in the world, if you have an internet connection, you can get a smart wallet, you can use that smart wallet, and you can bring your life on chain. So we're so excited to see what developers build with the smart wallet. We're so excited to see what users do with the smart wallet. And we're so excited to keep working together to bring the entire world on chain.
And we're so excited that you all joined us today. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for my speakers and my co-host. We're super excited to bring this to everyone. Don't forget to integrate Smart Wallet ahead of mainnet, bump up your SDK, smartwallet.dev, join our Discord, get help. We've got gas incentive credits. We've got some co-marketing opportunities. Onchain Summer's coming. Buildathon is coming. Build on Smart Wallet. Help us make this more awesome for you, for everybody, for your customers. The future is just beginning now. So it's going to be so much easier to get on chain in a few months from now. We're going to look back and think we were in the Stone Ages. So thanks so much for everyone to be here. And yeah, excited to build with you all.
Excited to build with y'all.
Bye.
Bye.